Hey guys, today we're excited to be installing a new set of BC Racing BR coilovers on Austin's GR Corolla. Not only that, we have a full suite of SPL suspension parts, starting with their rear upper control arms, their rear lateral links, and a set of their adjustable sway bar end links. So guys, I'm really excited about these. These coilovers drip quality, and Austin is really excited to dial in the ride height and the alignment on his Corolla. So guys, let's get started. We're gonna walk you through this step by step and show you the end result of this GR Corolla coilover. All right, so starting on the front, we're gonna disconnect the front end links from the sway bar down here using a 17mm wrench. All right, that's completely off. All right, next we got our 14mm on here to remove the bracket for the ABS sensor wire. That bolt out of the way, your brake line should be free of the strut assembly, and you can remove this little retainer bracket from the ABS sensor wire. Now we're gonna work on getting these two big beefy bolts out of the way, lower the hub assembly, and disconnect that final ABS sensor wire. All right, now I'm ready to take out the strut mounting bolts. These are 22mm bolts, and I'm gonna use an impact to take these off. Good.
There it goes.
All right, so you're gonna wanna also take out the 10mm bolt that secures this ABS speed sensor to the back of the hub prior to dropping the hubs off of the struts up here so you don't pull on it or risk damaging it. But once this is out of the way, you can gently pull the strut assembly away from the hub and get everything loose and ready to come down from up top. All right, so you got a 10mm bolt here holding on the ABS wire that you're gonna wanna remove so you don't put too much tension on anything once you drop the strut. That's good. Hell yeah. I like it when that. There it goes. Way easier from that side. Okay. All right, so on the Corolla, the strut mounting bolts are up underneath this cowl. So we're gonna go ahead and start removing the plastic fasteners that secure the cowl. Okay, so after these plastic fasteners are removed from the cowl, we're only seeing to get this entirely off is to remove the 14mm bolts securing the windshield wipers to the car. So we're gonna go ahead and do that so we can get under here. Yes. Yes. All right, now these struts are ready to come down and out of the car. We've got our 14mm deep socket here to loosen all three of the strut mounting bolts up top. This is where you're gonna want to loosen them, but not fully remove them, knowing that they are suspended by their own gravity. And you want to be ready to catch them underneath the car. All right, that is one dirty stock strut from a GR Corolla out. Let's get these BCs in. All right, got the new SPL adjustable end link loosely installed here. These are nylock nuts. And I'm gonna go ahead and bring this up into the car now. Scooting tight.
Yes.
Front is done. Front is done. Can't believe that actually worked. There.
Yeah.
Loose. Sway bar and link. Go kaboom.
Zap.
That actually wasn't too dramatic.
Air suspension.
Deactivated. Didn't need that one. Oh. Okay. One in, link out. Okay. Okay. Springs out. That's good. All right, compress the old shockarooski. And it comes out like that. All right, that's one rear shock out. 14. Look at that. It's out. One. I think we nailed it. I think I nailed it. Amazing. Dave, we're doing really well.
We're killing it.
Awesome. Did I do that? I didn't do that. Yes. Faceless. Lateral link out. And we're simply gonna put it up under here, grab our bolt. All right, so on the rear shocks of the GR Corolla, it comes with an OE mount with a plastic cap. Take that off, and now we're going to use some wrenches to remove this to reinstall the BC Racing strut onto this upper mount.
Living on a prayer.
All right. Beautiful.
Huzzah!
So with regards to the factory bump stops, after we cut out the dust cover, got the bump stops out, the OE bump stops are about this long. And so we started making some cuts to each section of the bump stops. And since we do want to have something at the top, we found that this bottom section of the bump stop, after cutting that out, will slide right over the top of the shock body on the BC Racing strut and allow you to still bolt down and still adjust on this side. So you will have some give at the bottom of the shock travel as a bump stop, and you still have the ability to reach under the car with the wheels off and make your damping adjustments. So we're gonna go ahead and reinstall this with the top nut and get it back in the car. I wonder if this is a 17. I bet it ain't. Hell no, it ain't. All right, so after we get the bump stop cut and installed here, I'm putting a 20 mil open-ended wrench on the adjuster body, which has a section of it that allows a wrench to be attached to it. And I'm taking a 19 to put over here, and I'm going to gently cinch this down on the table to get everything tightened up with the nylock nut on the top. That's good. That's good. Our genius knows no bounds.
The scope of my engineering genius literally knows no bounds.
All right, so when we're installing the shock, we noticed that we needed to disconnect the lateral link to allow it to sag enough to provide clearance to get over this big, long, lower shock mounting bolt on the hub. So I'm going to bring the strut in with the collars on the bottom of it and gently slide it over. Like that. Like that. Okay. Okay. 17 mil, just get an extension. And we're gonna gently zap these. All right, so the lower spring perch in the bucket has this little rubber isolator that we did not take out. I'm just taking it out to show you that that's where it goes. The upper perch with the adjustable collars on the BC Racing springs reuses the factory rubber isolator that we're gonna put in. And now we're just gonna slide these springs into the bucket. Slide those into the bucket. Lose some rally weight. That worked. Yes, yes. All right, and there we go. So if you have any issues lining this up after you've got all arms that you're installing in the rear, this is your eccentric adjuster for camber. So you can actually loosen this a little bit and then turn the back side. It's a 22 millimeter bolt, and that will actually articulate this arm horizontally for camber adjustment on the rear hub in order to get your bolt holes lined up. Okay, now that we have the rear suspension installed and buttoned up on the driver's side, we're just gonna repeat the same steps for the passenger side, and we're gonna torque everything down to spec, get it on the alignment rack, and show you guys the results of this thing sitting a little bit lower on the BC Racing BR coilovers. Good.
Hoppa! Wow, I'm so glad I got that. That was amazing.
On these SPL end links for the rear sway bars, we found that the longer threaded rod end with the conical spacer goes on top, and the shorter threaded rod end goes on the bottom. And so you can install these by putting the bottom end in first, and then you can rotate it up to the top. And then you should be able to, if the rod end length is correct, put it into this hole up top. Get that in there. I'm literally hanging on it, Dave. Okay. Okay, I got a thread.
Zap it.
You want me to zap it?
Send it.
Well, yeah, no.
Let me just make sure.
Yeah, get it started.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Austin, why are these tires look like they've been slid on them? What the? Brand new.
All right, guys, so now that we have wrapped the installation of these BC Racing coilovers on the GR Corolla, it is now sitting lower and looking better, but we do need to get an alignment still. So to make this easier, we've already removed the cowl to go ahead and install the coilovers, but the GR Corolla has a large metal cowl plate that is covering up the camber adjustment plates here. So we need to remove this, and in order to do so, we do need to remove the wiper assembly with the motor, and then all these bolts that are securing the metal cowl plate on. Once that's off, our alignment techs will have free rein to adjust the camber plates, dial in the alignment, and make things easy for them. Once we're done with that, we're going to reinstall the plate, and maybe before we do that, we're going to drill a small hole per BC's recommendation around this area so that the damper adjustment knob can be inserted and turned to change the compression and rebound settings, since these are adjustable coilovers. So with that, let's get started on removing this stuff. We'll show you guys how that goes, and we'll get it on the alignment rack. All right, so with this plastic cowl removed, we're gonna start taking these plastic water drip trays off of the top of the wipers. Set those aside, and there's two 10 mils securing this. We need to get this little plate off. Okay. That's out. So this slides out of its little slot here on this rubber grommet. So it's just the two 10 mils, and then it's out, slide it out, disconnect this wiring harness. We've got a ton more room here. So we can see all the 10 mils that we have to remove along the back, and these two strut mounting bolts. The car's resting on the ground, so these bolts shouldn't move, shouldn't be a problem. But yeah, do need to put them back on before you move the car again. Okay, let's start on these in the back. Okay. So now that we have everything unbolted and disconnected from this metal cowl plate, we can gently lift up. All right, now we have exposed camber plates. But what we want to do first is not leave these hanging. Go ahead and reinstall those and tighten them down. Okay. So guys, as you can see, removing the metal cowl plate is not that bad. It's just a few bolts and disconnect wiring and it'll come right out. But this is going to give your alignment tech easy access to your front camber plates. And again, we are going to drill the recommended hole before this goes back in. Somewhere around the top of the camber plate assembly, right in the center, there is a designated spot in the instructions from BC Racing to drill a hole that'll allow your adjuster to go in so you can adjust your compression and rebound settings on your coilovers. Let's get this thing on the alignment rack and get it dialed in. All right, that wraps the BC Racing coilover install on our GR Corolla. Austin's got the alignment set, the cowl back on. We've got the ride height set up for track use, and so this thing is now ready for the track. So thank you guys for watching this. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you're interested in coilovers for your GR Corolla, check us out at TEQSPORT.com.
Well, I want you to say that again. What are you going to do with the camber plates?
You loosen these 4 Allens, and then what you do is you take this and you shove it as far that way as you can. No, not till T-wheels. You know why?
Why?
Because this thing has so much grip, I need all the contact patch when I'm not
Yes.
No,
Yes.
that means you don't need as much contact.
Tomei! Marissa Tomei!
Where? Where?
Right here, baby. It's Marissa
Is that
Tomei. Is that a Tomei?
Yeah.
What? 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 Yes.
Yes.
It's a GR Corolla. Yes, let's do it. Let's install it.
I've never had a tow mania. I've always wanted one. Thank you, Tyler.
You're welcome.
Excited. Mark's here for moral support.
Yes. All things.
Yeah. Whenever a Tomei gets on, it's a special day around here.
Dual tow mag
Has it been unboxed
on the
yet?
GR Corolla.
Sticky. Everything is fighting me. Literally everything. Get that in there. I'm literally hanging on it, Dave. Okay. Okay, I got a thread.